That feeling. You know it, right? Walking across a dimly lit, kind of empty parking lot after dark, maybe a little chill, you glance over your shoulder. We've all been there. And it's just such a stark reminder of how uh, vulnerable those spaces can feel sometimes. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Today, we're diving deep into an area that, well, it's often seen as a security blind spot, parking lots. For years, we've pretty much relied on traditional CCTV cameras, the passive ones, but our sources, they reveal a whole new approach, something powered by AI that's really changing the game.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here is how these latest AI camera solutions are transforming these vulnerable spaces. They're going from just passively recording things into proactive real-time defense systems. So our mission in this deep dive really is to understand how these intelligence systems actually detect and deter trespassers, how they prevent crime, and, fundamentally change the safety of parking areas for everyone.
We've got a fantastic stack of material for this one. Lots of deep research, insights into some leading solutions out there, like those from Alpha Vision. It's a pretty comprehensive look, not just the what these technologies are, but really digging into the how and the why these seem to be so effective. And here's a fact that, honestly, it really makes you sit up. Did you know parking facilities account for roughly 10% of all U.S. property crimes?
Wow, 10%.
Yeah, that works out to around 1,400 incidents every single day.
That's huge. That's huge.
It really highlights the scale of the problem we're tackling here. So, okay, why? Why are parking lots such prime targets for, opportunistic criminals or just after-hours trespassers? What makes them so inherently vulnerable?
Well, if you think about it, parking lots have these built-in weaknesses, right?
Mhm.
They're typically large, they're open areas, often with multiple ways in and out, makes them really hard to secure completely. And then you've got like uneven lighting or sometimes just outright blind spots where intruders can easily hide.
Hmm.
Plus, there's usually minimal staffing, especially, after business hours. And traditionally, like you said, standard CCTV, it just records footage passively. So you only find out about trespassing or theft after it's already happened.
Right, too late.
Exactly. By the time someone gets around to reviewing the tapes, the damage is done, the culprits are long gone, and this constant vulnerability, well, it can give a place a bad reputation, deter customers, and honestly create significant liability for the property owners.
So that old model,
Yeah.
the record and review thing,
Yeah.
it just isn't cutting it anymore. It sounds completely reactive.
It is.
What's the fundamental shift, then, that we're seeing now with AI? It's especially for property owners and managers who are looking for actual real solutions.
Exactly. It's a fundamental shift. We're moving from just passive observation to proactive defense. That's the key. These modern AI-powered camera systems, they combine intelligent video analytics with active deterrence features, which means they're designed not just to watch, but to detect and deter intruders in real time. They provide that early warning, that instant intervention, instead of just being evidence for later.
Okay, imagine that. A system that doesn't just watch but actively intervenes. That sounds powerful. What kind of capabilities does a solution like that really need to, make a real difference in a parking lot?
Yeah, that's a really important question because what does effective trespass detection actually involve? It's way more than just sticking up a basic camera. First off, you absolutely need accurate human and vehicle classification. The AI has to reliably tell the difference between, say, a person or a car and, just innocuous motion like a stray cat wandering through or leaves blowing around.
Right, cuts down on false alarms.
Drastically reduces false alarms,
Right.
which is crucial so security staff aren't just chasing ghosts and real threats get taken seriously. Second, you need virtual perimeters and flexible schedules. These systems let you literally draw digital fences or intrusion zones right onto the camera's view.
Okay.
And then you apply specific rules based on time of day. So an area might be totally off limits to people after closing, but fine during business hours. The AI gets that context, it understands and adapts. Third, and this is critical, strong low light and no light performance. Let's face it, trespassers usually operate under the cover of darkness.
Yeah.
So the cameras need advanced night vision. That could be infrared, for clear black and white images, or even full color night vision, sometimes called color at night or starlight cameras. These can capture vital details like clothing color or vehicle color, even in really dim light.
That could be crucial for identification.
Absolutely. And for total darkness, thermal imaging. It detects human heat signatures. So it's not just about seeing, it's seeing effectively no matter the lighting condition. Okay, next up. Edge, or on-site AI analytics. This is a bit technical, but it's a game changer. It means the AI brain power, the processing, happens right there on the camera or a local hub, not just way off in the cloud.
And why does that matter so much?
Low latency, speed. The camera can decide in real time if someone's trespassing and trigger alarms almost instantly. Minimal delay.
Ah, so you can intervene while they're still there.
Exactly, while the person is still on site. Plus, it means the system keeps working even if the internet goes down. And it's better for privacy, too, since most video stays local unless there's an actual incident. And finally, look, detecting isn't quite enough, right? These smart systems need active deterrence and response tools.
Okay, so what does that look like?
We're talking bright floodlights, flashing strobe lights, audible alarms like actual sirens, and two-way audio speakers so you can do talk-down warnings. The system should automatically kick off these deterrents within moments of spotting suspicious motion, playing a loud voice announcement like, warning, you are trespassing, law enforcement has been notified.
That would get your attention.
Definitely. And it also captures and logs all the video evidence from the incident.
Okay, so it sounds like we're way beyond just passive recording here. The real power is in a camera that's not just seeing, but actively, like, understanding what it sees and then doing something about it.
That's it.
So what kind of cameras are we actually talking about? Are these those big PTZ units, the pan-tilt zoom ones we hear about? Or is it more standard cameras?
It's often a mix, actually. A layered approach usually works best depending on the coverage needed, the sort of foundational layer. That often includes fixed dome and bullet cameras with onboard AI. These are kind of the workhorses. You mount them on light poles, building eaves, watching specific zones. They're generally pretty affordable now, and many have that built-in AI for detecting people, vehicles, maybe loitering in their specific view. Like a fixed camera at an entrance could automatically flag anyone walking in after 11 p.m.
But they have a limited view, right?
That's the main limitation, yeah. Static, limited field of view. So for really large areas, you need a lot of them, which adds up. So to get rid of those blind spots and get really comprehensive coverage, we move up to panoramic plus PTZ cameras. Panoramic cameras use multiple lenses, or maybe a fisheye lens, to give you this ultra-wide view, 180, sometimes even 360 degrees. It's like having a virtual watchtower overlooking a huge area. And then PTZ cameras, pan-tilt zoom. They can swivel around, tilt up and down, and zoom in with really powerful optical lenses. Operators can control them, or they can be set to automatically track or zoom in on important events. The best solutions often combine both. They put them in one unit. For instance, systems like AlphaVision's GuardBox Pro, they integrate a wide panoramic view with a powerful PTZ, and they add those active deterrence things like speakers and lights.
So best of both worlds.
Pretty much. The panoramic spots something across the lot, the PTZ automatically zooms right in for details, face, license plate, and then the system can challenge the person with lights and audio. It means you need fewer cameras overall for big spaces, which can really help with installation costs. And then there's this really innovative category, mobile off-grid units.
How interesting. What are those for?
Perfect for those hard-to-reach spots. Places without permanent power or internet access. Think sprawling retail overflow lots, remote construction sites, maybe temporary event parking. These are basically self-contained security towers or trailers. They run on solar power, have batteries, cameras, and cellular data modems built in.
So you just drop them where you need them.
Exactly. Rapidly deployed, no wiring needed, and you can move them around if your needs change. There are different types. Compact, pole-mounted solar cameras with maybe full-color night vision, and then more robust mobile surveillance towers like AlphaVision's Alpha Trailer. These have tall masts, like 20 feet high for a great vantage point, multiple advanced cameras, lots of local storage, and they run completely autonomously on solar.
Like a security guard in a box.
That's a good way to put it. You tow it in, switch it on, and boom, you've got eyes on your lot, plus a voice that can shout at intruders, basically anywhere you need it. And just seeing one of those things, a 20-foot tower with cameras and lights, that's a deterrent in itself.
Okay, so we've got these incredible eyes wide angle, super zoom, even totally mobile self-powered units.
Yeah.
But like you said, just having the hardware isn't the whole story, is it? What's the intelligence? What makes them work together as a system?
Right. That's where the intelligent software comes in, often called AI agents in systems like AlphaVision's. This software is what really ties everything together, turning this network of cameras into what feels like an autonomous security team. First, you have something like an AI-powered patrol and detection agent. Think of it as an AI inspector. It acts as the proactive eyes, the patrolman. It can automate PTZ patrol routes, constantly scanning areas for intrusions based on a schedule you set. It's basically an autonomous guard that never gets tired or distracted. Some systems even have a sentry mode, where if it detects activity in a high-risk area, it proactively zooms in, kind of like a human guard pausing to watch something suspicious more closely. It can really cut down on the need for physical guard patrols just for basic perimeter watching. Then there's the AI virtual guard. This is the
Yeah.
voice and enforcer. It's responsible for that real-time deterrence we talked about.
The talk-down feature.
Exactly. The moment a trespass is detected, it can trigger audible warnings through connected IP speakers. They can be pre-recorded messages like, "You in the black jacket, this area is closed, leave immediately." Or it can let a live operator talk through the speaker. And honestly, this approach is proving extremely effective. Most trespassers just get startled and, frankly, they flee. It works with the lights and sirens too, hitting them with multiple deterrents within seconds.
Okay, so patrol, deterrence. What about after something happens?
Good question. For post-incident review, you need intelligent video search tools. Alpha Vision, for example, calls theirs AI Investigator with Magic Search. Think of it as your digital detective. It uses advanced video analytics, even natural language. You can actually search using queries like, show me a person with a red shirt in Lot B between 2 and 3 a.m. Or find the white sedan in the northwest corner last night.
Seriously, like a Google search for your security footage.
Pretty much. You can even upload a snapshot sometimes, maybe of a suspect, and it'll search for similar appearances. It digs through all the AI-generated metadata tags for people, vehicles, colors, times, and pulls up the relevant clips in seconds. What used to take hours of someone painfully scrubbing through video, now it can be done in like a minute or two. Imagine finding the person who keyed a car just by searching "person near silver Honda Civic around 2 a.m."
That's incredible efficiency.
It really is.
Yeah.
And tying all this together is a unified management platform, usually a combination of a video management system, VMS, and maybe a report management system, RMS. This gives you a single dashboard, a one pane of glass view to manage everything, all the cameras, the AI agents. You see alerts, view live feeds, control the PTZs, trigger deterrents, maybe even communicate with guards, archive footage. It's all in one place.
Crucial for the operator, I bet.
Absolutely crucial for efficiency, no juggling multiple apps. It streamlines that whole workflow. AI detects alert, pops up with video operator, or the AI virtual guard issues a voice down system, logs everything, and you get a clear audit trail, which is vital for any potential legal needs later.
It really is like having this team of robotic security guards. They never sleep, never get...
Yeah, deployment strategy is key. Effective visual coverage usually relies on some proven design patterns. A really common one is layered optics, panoramic overwatch plus PTZ zooming.
Okay, explain that.
So you have a top layer providing continuous wide area overwatch. That's your panoramic cameras or maybe several fixed cameras covering everything. Then you have a secondary layer using PTZ cameras for the zoomed-in details. These might be set on auto patrol routes or use auto-tracking features. For example, you could put wide-angle cameras at the corners of the lot for that full coverage, plus maybe one or two PTZs mounted up high for a good vantage point. The wide-angle camera acts like the spotter, and the PTZ is the zoom lens for getting clear evidence.
And seeing the cameras helps too, right?
Definitely. Making at least some of the cameras or the mobile units very visible absolutely contributes to deterrence. It increases that perceived risk for anyone thinking about trespassing. Then there's the huge importance of mounting heights, fields of view, and especially lighting.
Right, the darkness problem.
Exactly. You typically use a mix of mounting heights, maybe higher for broad coverage, lower for getting facial details or license plates near entrances. And lighting is paramount. You work with the existing light, of course, but you often need to add LED illuminators for dark zones, or use cameras that have their own built-in IR or even white light LEDs. Some of those color hunter-style cameras, when they detect motion, they'll actually bathe the scene in visible white light.
Oh, wow. Like a spotlight.
Kinda, yeah. Captures full color detail and definitely startles people. A layered lighting strategy often works well. Use infrared for the cameras to see covertly, but have visible floodlights ready as a deterrent, activated only when there's an actual intrusion. And entrances and exits always need bright, clear illumination. And finally, you set up those virtual perimeters and intelligent alert schedules. You draw those digital fences or zones right in the camera views. Then you apply rules based on time.
So the system knows when the place is closed.
Precisely. The AI knows, okay, the store's closed now. Nobody should be wandering around here. You can even get sophisticated with graduated responses, maybe a softer warning right after closing, but a full-on siren if someone shows up at 3 a.m. The flexibility lets you really tailor it to your exact security needs.
It really is like programming your property with its own smart security rules.
Hmm.
The system knows when to watch, where to watch, and crucially, how to react.
Hmm.
And that real-time reaction, that seems to be where these systems truly make a difference, preventing problems almost before they start.
Exactly. That speed and impact of the AI-driven intervention, that's the game changer. You get instant detection and alerting. Alerts often go out in like under 5 seconds from the moment something's detected, usually with snapshots or even live video clips. That gives you precious time, precious minutes to actually respond.
And you mentioned false alarms earlier.
Right. While the AI is really good at filtering out noise, that verification step is still useful. A quick human glance at the alert video confirms if it's a real trespass. It's often this AI plus human loop that gives you the optimal security outcome. But the core is that immediate deterrence, the voice down and the lights. Whether it's automated or a live operator speaking, those audio broadcasts happen within seconds of someone entering a restricted area. Hearing, "This is private property, you must leave now," while a bright blue strobe light starts flashing.
Yeah, that would be unsettling.
It startles and intimidates. It completely changes the trespasser's mindset. They go from thinking they're sneaking around unseen to, "Oh no, I've been caught," instantly. Sirens and flashing lights are extra layers you can add for really severe situations. They can be quite disorienting. And if the warnings are ignored, then you move to escalation, dispatching security or police.
While it's happening.
While the incident is still in progress, that's the major shift from old systems. The operator can call law enforcement with real-time information. This massively increases the chance of an on-site apprehension. And throughout all this, the system is doing its incident logging and notification. It documents everything: the video, the timestamped alerts, any audio messages sent. It generates a neat incident report, perfect for evidence later.
That really is where the magic happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Turning what could have been a crime, a theft, vandalism, into basically a non-event because you intervene so quickly. Imagine, that catalytic converter thief, detected the second they crawl into a car and then immediately hit with a siren and a loud announcement. That is real power, changing outcomes in seconds.
Precisely.
But, with all this advanced tech, I imagine property owners might have concerns too, maybe about privacy or reliability. What if the power goes out?
Those are fair points, and good systems address them directly. On privacy, AI can actually enhance it in some ways. Because it analyzes footage locally, on the edge, it typically only sends alerts or specific video clips when there's a genuine security event.
Yeah.
So hours and hours of just, benign footage of an empty lot doesn't necessarily need to be transmitted or reviewed by humans. Plus, features like privacy masking can blur out public areas like sidewalks or neighboring properties. And clear signage about surveillance is always important, of course. For reliability, things like onboard backup and fail-safes are pretty standard now. Cameras usually have local storage, like micro SD cards, so they keep recording even if the network connection drops.
Okay.
And battery backup, or especially with mobile units, solar power ensures they keep running during power cuts. A mobile solar trailer, like the Alpha trailer, it's essentially immune to a grid power outage. You also get redundancy of communication. Many use cellular 4G or 5G, sometimes with dual SIM cards for backup. And because the AI smarts are on the device itself, that local deterrence, the lights, the speaker, it can still function even if the internet connection is totally down.
And they must be built tough for outdoors.
Oh, absolutely. All-weather operation is a must. They're designed for outdoor use, usually with high IP ratings, like IP66 or IP67, meaning they can handle heat, cold, heavy rain, dust, you name it. AlphaVision's mobile units, for instance, are built to be basically stormproof. This autonomous power and connectivity you get with solar and LTE, that's a huge plus. They don't rely on the building's power grid or the corporate IT network. So if burglars try to cut the power lines, a mobile solar unit just keeps on working, completely unaffected.
So it's not just powerful, it's also smart about privacy and incredibly robust. It can operate independently even when the main grid goes down. That's impressive. Which brings up an important question. Who exactly benefits most from these kinds of solutions? Is it just for huge corporate lots or?
No, really. Everyone from large retail chains down to maybe small construction sites can see significant advantages. Let's look at a few quick use case snapshots. Take retail and shopping center lots. Big open spaces, often targets for loiterers, car break-ins, or theft after hours. Here, solutions combining those panoramic cameras with an AI virtual guard work really well. It can automatically engage intruders, maybe disperse unwanted cart club gatherings late at night using pre-recorded messages. Loitering detection is useful too. And that magic search feature is great for quickly finding footage of vandalism. There was a case. A car dealership suffered thousands in catalytic converter theft overnight. They only found out the next morning. With AI cameras and speakers, an alert and warning would have gone out the second the thieves jacked up that first car. Very likely would have scared them off before they hit multiple vehicles.
Makes sense. What about industrial sites?
Yeah, logistics yards and overflow parking, often vast, poorly lit, unattended, prime targets for cargo thieves, maybe fuel theft from trucks. Here, those robust Guardbox Pro units or the mobile trailers are ideal along fence lines or inside the yard. You set up virtual perimeters, maybe add license plate recognition, LPR cameras at the gates. Imagine someone tries to cut a lock or hop the fence. A mobile unit's cameras pick it up instantly. The AI triggers a deafening siren, flashing lights, and a voice booms out, "Security alert, you are trespassing." That's a powerful deterrent in those remote areas.
Okay, what about places with more public access, like apartments or campuses?
Good one. Multifamily and campus parking garages. You deal with unauthorized people, car burglars, just general nuisance behavior, plus semi-public access sometimes. So AI cameras at entrances and exits are key. They can detect tailgating, for instance. Loitering alerts are useful inside. The AI virtual guard can use maybe polite messages initially, getting firmer if needed. You might integrate emergency call buttons too, and again, that search capability is huge. A college campus actually identified a non-student who was systematically trying car doors just by searching their video archive for a person trying car doors. Found him quickly.
Wow. And construction sites, you mentioned them earlier.
Yes, construction and temporary parking lots. These often pop up for projects holding valuable equipment and materials, but they usually lack permanent power or internet. Big targets for tool thieves, copper theft, even illegal dumping. Construction theft is a massive issue, over $1 billion annually in the US. So those mobile solar-powered units like the Alpha Trailer or Guardbox Air, absolutely ideal. You just deploy them, they run themselves, and you can move them as the project phases change. The loudspeakers and lights act like 247 virtual guards. The instant someone breaches the temporary fence, maybe a hidden thermal camera detects their heat signature, a PTZ zooms in, and the system blares, "You are trespassing on a construction site, leave immediately."
Okay, these snapshots really bring it to life. It shows how adaptable these AI systems are. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all thing, but more of a tailored approach depending on the environment.
Exactly.
So for those listening, maybe thinking, okay, I need something like this for my property, what should they actually look for? How do they even start figuring this out?
Right. If you're exploring these solutions, there are some key capabilities to focus on. You absolutely need high-resolution cameras with good advanced night vision. You need those intelligent analytics, ideally running on the device itself, that onboard AI. Look for active deterrence features, the two-way audio, the sirens, the lights. Reliable connectivity is crucial, especially cellular options like 4G or LTE for flexibility, and definitely onboard storage for backup. A unified management platform that ties it all together is vital for usability, and don't underestimate those advanced search capabilities for investigations.
And picking the right hardware.
Yeah, match the hardware to the specific need. Maybe simple 4G solar cameras for isolated spots, a portable Guardbox Air for temporary elevated coverage, a more robust Guardbox Pro for critical large areas, or the full Alpha Trailer for maximum autonomy on huge or remote lots. It's about finding the right tool or combination of tools for the job. And as for getting started, a smart implementation roadmap often starts small. Maybe pilot the system in your biggest current blind spot.
Test it out.
Exactly. Tune the virtual zones, the alert schedules, the voice messages based on what you see. Then train your team or your monitoring service on how to use the platform and respond. And once you're happy, you can scale it up across more areas or properties. Oh, and always, always notify your local law enforcement about the system you have in place.
That makes a lot of sense. It's clear this isn't just about buying a camera anymore. It's really about investing in a whole smart, responsive security ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for you, our listener, from this deep dive today?
Well, I think it's clear. Parking lots don't have to be those vulnerable blind spots anymore. This deep dive has really shown how modern AI camera solutions can combine that wide overwatch, the precise detection, and that critical real-time deterrence to actively stop incidents before they escalate. They've really transformed security. It's gone from being just a reactive task reviewing footage after a crime to being a truly proactive shield, improving safety, peace of mind, and likely saving significant costs in the long run. Yeah, and the sources we looked at today, they do specifically highlight how providers like AlphaVision are really bringing these strengths together effectively. They offer those specialized AI agents, the inspector for patrols, the virtual guard for deterrence, the investigator with Magic Search, all integrated into one platform. And they use hardware that's purpose-built for these tough outdoor challenges. Their integrated approach really delivers that essential workflow you need today: detect, verify, deter, dispatch, and document that whole chain.
So ultimately, I guess the question for property owners, for managers, isn't really if you need better security anymore. It's more about how intelligently you want your property protected.
Sure.
Think about it. What overlooked blind spots do you have in your own environment? What areas could benefit from eyes that don't just see but actually understand and act? What if your security system could genuinely prevent a crime before it even happens?
Right. And our sources suggest that if this sounds interesting, if you want to learn more or explore these solutions for your own situation, the next step is probably scheduling a demo or maybe requesting a security assessment. Seeing it in action, seeing how quickly these AI cameras can spot an intruder and deter unwanted activity, that can be really eye-opening. Imagine that peace of mind, knowing your property is under watchful, intelligent eyes 24/7, your safer, more secure parking lot. It could honestly be just a click or a call away.